Hi, I'm Sam from Outdoor Revolution, and this is a short video explaining how to change the bladder on one of our oxygen air tubes. So here we have a tube casing which has been unzipped from the outer sleeve of the tent. Inside this casing is the bladder itself. So in most cases, if there's a problem with the tube, it will mean there is an issue with the bladder that needs changing. It's a very straightforward process. You do need to have the AirMate tool, which does come with the tent or awning as standard as part of the first aid kit. But if you don't have it, it can be purchased as a separate accessory very cheaply. So for instance, if you bought the tent secondhand and it doesn't have this tool, but you will need this to change the bladder. The bladder itself is zipped away in this heavy-duty casing to protect it. Very, very rarely should you need to change the casing itself. The casing is kind of a very robust material, so you shouldn't ever have any issues there. The bladder is zipped into the casing, and that zip is sealed by a cable tie. Just need to find the zip itself. Here we go. That cable tie is not present here, obviously for demonstration purposes, but it will be out of the box new, and that is to prevent you from opening, or the zip opening, when you inflate the tube. If this opens when the tube's inflated, the bladder can hemorrhage out and potentially damage it. It's not an issue as such. If it does open, you can just deflate the tube, make sure the bladder's tucked back in again and zip it up, but you really do not want to open these if you can help it when the tent's inflated. So, to detach the bladder from the casing, you need to remove these two valves. These are the parts that are holding the bladder in place. So you get the AirMate tool, fix it into position and simply twist it. It's probably going to be fairly tight initially because it needs to be. There we go. Once you get it started, it should quickly unscrew. So keep going like that. It's made of two parts, and there's an internal part which you can hold it from the back, and that of course stays inside. Move on to the second valve if it's present in your air tube, and again unscrew it. Nice and simply. So at that point you can unzip the tube from its casing. Ideally when you've got some space around you. There you can see the existing inner valves. Of course, when you get a new tube, there will be new valves that come with it, so there's no need to take these out. But if you do want to take these out and keep them as spares, of course it's not a bad idea. You just simply cut the bladder and get to them. So, same principle as getting the tube back in again. You essentially start by putting the valves back in place. You shouldn't be too worried about being heavy-handed with these things. They are very robust and designed to be maintained should you need to. So again, just make sure you grip the back of the valve when you're screwing it in. Using the AirMate tool to fasten it up. You really need to make sure these are tight as possible. Again, like I say, don't be afraid of being too heavy-handed with it. Once that's in place, do the second one if it's present. May need a bit of lining up. And it's as simple as that. Connect the screw, the tool, screw it up. Once it's in position, zip the bladder in place, and you can then reinsert the bladder into the casing. Thanks for watching.